Which brings us to the idea of how do we actually find solutions to matters like this? One is the idea of vetting the people we put in office. And when I say vet, what are their politics? That's key. Because that politics in itself now means we're voting for our very survival.
I agree 100% in terms of the district attorneys in
But
particular.
they have
very
unfortunately, the system has a way to protect themselves from that. They have something called the Hatch Act. And because of the Hatch Act, you cannot hold anyone accountable based on their political beliefs, because you should not even be looking at anyone as far as employment or being under employment based on political beliefs.
When I say political beliefs, I'm saying when Mr. Mulroy comes forward to say, I want to be your district attorney.
Right.
The first question is, you have the police. Here are some statistics. How do you hope to bridge them?
Yes.
And then listen
in that
to
way,
him.
yes.
Then based on that, you vet him.
Yes.
The police chief.
Look at Eric Garner. Remember? No indictment in Eric Garner case. When we had the video of the young man being literally lynched with the guy's forearm.
Or in the case,
he was resisting arrest, blah, blah, blah. And okay, now I remember something regarding that case too. The first story, and anybody can go back and look at this, the first story that came out in the New York Times about Eric Garner was essentially a press release from the New York Police Department. It talked about the fact that he weighed, I don't know, maybe 280 or almost 300 pounds, and that he had problems breathing during the encounter. They call it an encounter or interaction with the police. And the way it's written, very authentic. They give the corner where the incident happened, the name of the street, the intersection. So you get the impression that this story is being professionally done. The story made no mention of the chokehold. Think about that. In the New York Times,
manufactured completely.
I wrote an editorial criticizing the New York Times for swallowing that press release from the NYPD. And the story, the editorial I wrote was getting a lot of traffic. Guess what? Weeks later or something, I'm doing some other research. I go back to that story because I want to, read my previous editorial to shape my next editorial. That editorial had been deleted from my website. I have no proof of who did it, but if you look at the people who are being
we have our suspicions.
They might have interest in having that story.
Who would benefit from doing this
from
act?
releasing that? Amazing what we have to deal with.